So what is going on, people, and welcome to episode 25 of the Peterborough United Career Mode here on FIFA 23. I hope you are doing well. And when we come into the month of December, the busy month of December, in the last couple of episodes, we've managed to progress through the calendar quite nicely, playing a couple of months in each episode, month per episode, I should say. So we've progressed quite nicely. This is how the championship table looks after a fairly inconsistent run of form. It has to be said, we have struggled a little bit, only picking up maybe a couple of wins in the last couple of months, which isn't ideal. But we're 8th after 20 games. We sit 4 points off the playoffs at the moment, the top 5 really making the division their own. But we have played a lot of those teams. We played Leeds, got absolutely battered 5-0. Sheffield United outplayed us as well, and we picked up a last minute winner against Watford. So we're keeping touching distance, but it seems like that top 5 are racing away to decide who is going to be the top 2 going forward for next season. And yeah, we're ticking along quite nicely, but we need to pick up that consistency. Today, though, we start, well, it's a very tricky episode, let's be honest. We start with a game against Brentford, who I believe sit in second. We then take on Brighton away from home, who are having a bit of a faulty start, to be fair, to their life back in the Championship. I believe they're 11th. And then we have a trip to Carrow Road to face Norwich. So 3 very good sides, 2 who've been relegated last season. Norwich, of course, very good at this level and flying high this season. So, yeah, we're going to play them this episode and next episode. But some very tough games to come. If you are looking forward to this episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me, subscribe to the channel. I've got some new faces to introduce you to. So obviously you know that I scout the free agents. I've got a lot of names on my shortlist. Some of these guys want a fair bit in wages, but it's got to that time of the season, December, we're sort of having a look at what we're going to do for the January window. And, well, I had some guys on this list that I thought would help the squad. So, yeah, let's just introduce you to these guys. So, 4 new signings and all. I actually signed this guy before last episode, and I actually mentioned him in commentary and then I realised I haven't introduced you to him yet. Ernesto Oliveira is a 18-year-old Spaniard, 71 overall, signed a 5-year deal with us. He is actually going to come in and be a centre-back for us. I think it improves cover there. Ahmed has grown up to 71 overall as well. So Oliveira comes in. He will replace Hassan, who we will look to get out, whether probably a loan deal, maybe transfer, though we'll have to see. Angel Estrada is actually one that I originally ignored. He was 70 overall rated when I first found him, but then it kind of stuck with me. I was like, actually, he's young, so this guy will be good to get in regardless. Even if he doesn't play, loan him out, get him some experience, or we could sell him on. Actually, now that he's grown up to 71, we probably could utilise him within the squad. He's 19 years old, another 5-year deal for this guy. He's going to come in and be in and around the squad. So that means that Assad, the hero of the last episode, he will start this first game, but we have put him back on the loan list, Ali Assad. Tanguy Koulibaly is a guy that I've had on this shortlist since the start of the season, and I've negotiated some contracts going into December. So I'm trying to think who I've signed new deals. Josh Knight, I think, has signed a new contract. Harrison Burrows has signed a new contract. I offered Jack Taylor a new contract, but he actually said no. Probably because the wages I offered weren't up to scratch. Some of these guys got a fairly big bump. I think that was it. But yeah, Knight went from earning like $4,000 or something. He's now our highest paid player, Josh Knight, but he's fairly important. I mean, I didn't blow his wage demands out of the water. Our previous highest earners were on $11,000. Knight's on $11,500. So, yeah, I know George Saville has signed a new contract. He signed a new contract a while ago before he agreed his loan to Athletic Bilbao. So yeah, like with the increase in wages, I thought that there was a couple of guys who had dropped their demands as well that I thought we could include. Tanguy Koulibaly is certainly one of those. Good versatile player. We put him in on a 3-year deal. As you can see, $10,000 a week he is earning. So he's going to come in, and that probably pushes Daniel Johnson out of the squad now as well. So he's been listed for loan. Ajaboye has gone up for loan as well. Jack Butland, obviously, Riznik is leaving us, and Bergstrom's going on a loan. So Butland we had from the summer, Butland and Carrius we had, and then I found them again on scout reports. Needed a keeper. Butland's come in just to be back up to Bedley, £9.5 a week as a rotation, couple of year deal. It was literally a straight shootout between Butland and Carrius. Their stats were very similar, so I just opted for Jack Butland. And the last one, there was one more that I signed, but he doesn't appear to be on this page. We've signed another goalkeeper. I don't know why he's not on this list, but let me go and find him. He's just a young goalkeeper, but he come up in a scout report. I think he was only 18, 19. Here he is, Duncan McNeil, 18-year-old, 70 rated, so a good starting point for him. But yeah, going to just sign him in, going to get him out on loan. I think this guy's earning peanuts, £950 a week, and that was what he asked for as well. So got him in, literally going to get him straight out on loan. And yeah, looking for a loan deal if we can. So a very bloated squad once again, some very high squad numbers, as you can see. In terms of players that will be in and around the first team, but that's that's just how I roll on FIFA. Actually, there's one thing I should show. So we haven't had like a mid-year squad report thing. We might do that at the end. Actually, we'll do that at the end of this episode. Why not? Because we'll be exactly halfway through the season in terms of games. So we met some new players. Yeah, we've been through some things. Let's go and get stuffed by Brentford, shall we? But before we go and get stuffed, we have a pre-match press conference. So, can the team still go up? We're still in it, of course. It's going to be harder for us because the board objective was automatic promotion. So, yeah, not the greatest. Straight into a new league. Are you looking for more goals to game? We go into every game with the same attitude. At the moment, it seems to be outscoring our opponents. How can your team find consistency? We're certainly working hard at it. It's, we are new in this division. I think people forget that. So it's not going to be smooth sailing, despite how good we've started. I'd say we've over-delivered so far this season compared to the likes of Ipswich and MK Dons who came up with us. This is definitely a kit clash, so we will need to change that up. So for this first game of the episode then, this is how Brentford line up, and kind of similar to Leeds, still a lot of their Premier League quality in this side. Strakosha in goal, a back four of Hickey, Ayer, Pinnock and Sorensen. Vitalian out at the base in the midfield with Godos and Jensen ahead of him. Buemo out on the right, Tony through the middle, Damsgaard out on the left, and then Ibrahim Iniane. What a bloke from the last Barnsley series, but yeah, lots of quality options for them on the bench. This is how we line up for this game then. Just the one change. Assad, after his winner in the last game, let's give him a start. So we brought him in for Bender. Elias out on the right, Assad out on the left, and Garner in the 10 with Bakari. Anderson is back in the side now. Swapped Edwards and Anderson around as well. Buemo, Brady. It's not Brady, Tony, sorry. Elias doing his defensive work, but Damsgaard. Just a little bit of obstruction there to stop him getting involved, and unfortunately we can't pick up on that deflection. Jensen has done really well to get into the area though. Tony, that's a lovely well-worked goal. And just again, I said about it in the last episode, there always seems to be a spare man in the area for the opposition, and it's just that 2 against 1 little pass that you can't do anything about with the man in space. He's put it in the back of the net. It's Godos who's got the goal. I don't know why that is such a common thing. Is it a me thing? Am I not tactically not set up correctly, or is that just a very common goal that the opposition scores in this game? You have to let me know if that is a goal that you concede quite a lot. But Elias with Garner. Tries to cut it back at the far stick. Oh, and Ali Assad. You'd think from a yard out he's got the simplest of tasks to nod it into an empty net. That was actually a really good cross in the end, but unfortunately Ali Assad has headed that straight against the post, and Anderson had done really well. Edwards. Oh, well, we've got away with that because of the touch, but it still falls to a Brentford man. Oh, it's really good play, and if not for Daniel Bentley, that certainly would have been 2-0 and should have been 2-0. The attacking play from these sides, I don't know what it is, but the start of this season, as Tony, well, it's gone down away for a corner. The start of this season, we were absolutely superb, but in recent times, I'm not too sure what it is, but we can't really get a decent result or even decent performances, really. That's one thing as well, that I feel like Edwards hasn't coped particularly well with the step up to this level. He was really, really good for us last season, but he's found wanting quite a lot. He's still young, still got plenty to learn, playing at a high level for the first time in his career. But yeah, he's been a bit exposed at times this year. But Assad is carrying this ball a long way. Bakari, oh, Garner tries to bend one, and that is a fantastic save. I wanted Garner to shift that on his right, but instead he's taken it with his left and forced a worldy save out of Strakosha and tried to get his head on it. And that will be hard time. Deservedly so, you'd think, from Brentford, but we've had a couple of chances of our own, so we're not completely out of this one. Oh, it's a good interception from Nezovic and Assad. That's not quite what I had in mind. Oh, what's he doing? It's gone in somehow. That is really fortunate. I thought, to be honest, that Bakari was offside, so I just kind of hit it and didn't expect anything. But then the whistle didn't go, and it fell for Garner, and I thought, I've pressed to shoot there, and it's like he's left it, but he somehow managed to squeeze it in between keeper and defender and find the far corner. And just a few minutes after the restart, we've started with some intent here, and we've got our equaliser. Lovely little build-up play there from Brentford, but Smith does really well. Elias can gallop forward now. Finds to Garner. Try and get the ball outside if we can. Garner. Oh, it's an own goal. The little sweat, perhaps. Well, yeah. I mean, Bakari was there, and I opted to play the ball across, but then Bakari had just been swarmed by the defenders. And well, we've got a slice of luck that we don't very often get, to be honest. I think it's Sorensen that has poked it into his own goal. It is. And in the first 12 minutes of this second half, we've turned this game around rather fortuitously. I will completely admit both goals certainly have their element of luck about them. But sometimes that's what you need. It hasn't been going our way completely recently, but slice of luck. Oh, he's absolutely done Smith there as Damsgaard. Edwards, oh, he shifted well, and that's a lovely save from Dan Bentley. Lovely piece of individual play from Mikkel Damsgaard. Devasoglu is on. That's a header from Brentford, but it's gone over the top from Tony, and it will be a goal kick. Brady, lovely ball through for Nezovic, and there's a ball through there, and Bakari is in. Osman Bakari, it's a lovely save. Garner will get there and find this back to Elias. Bakari has the strike. Oh, and that's a finish. He's certainly made up for the miss. Question marks have been raised over him playing up front. I don't know whether I've been enjoying his performances, but he's certainly someone you want to get in the side because he possesses some very good qualities. And that finish certainly didn't look out of place. He has scored some very good goals for us playing up front. But I think maybe just because the team has suffered as a whole, it's made him shine a little less bright. But a very, very capable individual. There's no question about that, as Edwards, I didn't think was going to get a toe on that, but thankfully he does. And now we can push. And Elias, well, there's a ball forward there for Bakari. He's in behind again. We'll play this one over to Ali Assad, who has a strike. Oh, and I thought that was going to find the back of the net. But Shakosha has turned it round, and we're really enjoying ourselves now. It's clear to see Brady will find... Oh, almost found Garner. Can we get the head on that? We just about do, Bakari. Oh, it's a lovely challenge in there just to divert the ball away from us. I'm not too sure who it was, but it really well worked. And now we're a bit at 6s and 7s it, but good cover play from Ronnie Edwards, and we'll just get this one away with Daniel Bentley. Elias does really well, and Brady, oh, can't quite get it down. It was an awkward height for him. Oh, not the best. That's a good save again from Dan Bentley. Bit more simple for that one. He had time to see it, get his body behind it. Same for the front post. Ali Assad will get there. Oh, and again, Garner's gone for goal. He's offside, surely. He's not offside. I've just spotted Tommy Smith over the far stick playing him on. And Brentford have, well, I hope a consolation, but with 2.5 minutes to go, oh, Ibrahim Niane doing it dirty against me. They've got a potential route back into the match, but hopefully we can just hold on to this one. Play it a little bit sweaty, a little bit wasting of time. Nezovic into Ali Assad. Bakari's actually got a bit of room here. That wasn't the greatest of crosses, but I feel like Ali Assad. Oh, and it's a fairly comfortable save. But that should be that. And indeed it is 3 minutes over the added time, but the final whistle goes, and that is a hard-fought victory, and a victory that I did not think we would get, certainly after they took the lead. But equal on shots, they had better possession, but we made it count. Our clinical finishing and a little bit of help from them as well. That is a victory, as I said, I did not think we would get, as Josh Knight grows up to 73. I don't know if I've told you about this deal, but confirmation Ricky J. Jones is going to Braga on loan for 6 months. That youngster turned down the move to Montreal as well, so not ideal. But yeah, hopefully Ricky J. Jones can go and get some good football over in Portugal. Well, as we travel down to the south coast for this second game of the episode, this is how Brighton line up at the Amex. Sherpen in goal, a back four of Lamptey, Dunk, Veltman and Estupinian on the left, Gross and Moder in the middle, Seema out on the right, Trossard on the left, Sanson, Nicolas Sanson in behind Undav, so lots of quality. Casado on the bench there as well, but yeah, this is... I'm surprised that they're struggling as much as they are, Brighton, considering the quality that they have. Plenty of good Premier League quality players in there. In terms of our lineup, a few tired legs, but we have gone to normality. So Assad drops out, Bender back in, and it's as you would expect for us. Nezovic keeping his spot in the side. And although the first couple of games he had were a little bit shaky, let's admit, yeah, really, I'm starting to enjoy him more and more the more I get used to him. As Bakari finds Garner, and Garner, will test Sherpen, who will put it around the post, but a good start from us. A little bit kit clashy, I must admit. Spender, Bakari. Josh Knight, who's actually starting this game, sorry, Nezovic into Garner. Brady will have the strike. Oh, and it's a lovely finish from Robbie Brady. He has a few speculative efforts every now and then, but nothing normally really comes off. But that is a solid goal from Robbie Brady. Finds the bottom corner, an absolute treat. Oh, they're going to be one of them. They're moving the ball just unnecessarily quickly for my liking. But hey ho, not much you can do. Seema has got the run and down this right hand side. Oh, Gross has just shifted the feet of Sanson actually. He's making me look at... He's definitely made me look at it there. That was... He's just... I mean, the footwork itself... I haven't turned competitor mode on. It's ruined me. He's trying to ball in. It's hit Burrow's back without him even realising. It's fallen back to him. There's a gap at the near post. And he goes, alright, I'll do it myself then. Nicola Sanson has made me look an absolute mug there. Well, we can't get near them. And they're in again here, Sanson. This time. Oh my god. What is that pass?
The attack continues. They're making considerable progress. Oh, from miles out, he's done it. How about that for a pure strike? Terrific technique. Wondrous.
Well, we won't get tired of seeing this, will we? Because that struck so sweetly. He really does surprise everybody here, not least the keeper. What a good finish that is.
Nothing to say. What can you say?
Going short.
Good challenge from Robbie Brady. Unfortunately, though, he's not got much to work with. Although, hopefully that pass has come at the right time. Indeed it has. And Elias has finally got his first goal for Peterborough. He's always a danger on the counter from a corner. We've seen in the past episodes what he can do with his hold-up play and springing counter-attacks. But this time, Brady played the ball at the perfect time. And Elias threw on goal just inside Brighton's half. He had the composure, had a lot of time to think about what he was going to do with that. And he's duly applied the finish. And yeah, as it says at the top of the screen, first goal in 15 games for Elias. But yeah, I think it's justified, deserved as well, because he has been brilliant for us at times. And Nezovic needs to remember the ball hit. There could be a ball in for Joseph Garner. There is as well. And Garner, Edwards, Brady. Oh, I was actually trying to find Garner, but that we will find Bakari instead, and we will have an equaliser. And what a piece of play that was from the free kick. Didn't think much of it, but we found Brady in space. A lovely little pass there to Elias. I was actually aiming for Garner, to be honest, but a lovely little pivot and turn from Elias. Bakari is in space, and Bakari, with his left peg, has put us level on terms. 3-3, and well, an exciting start to the second half. Who knows what the final score is going to end up in this game, but it's a goal frenzy so far. Oh, we're in. And it's Bender. And David Bender has put it wide. Bakari is trying to find Koulibaly, the substitute. Oh, it's gone back to the keeper. And they've just about managed to get out of that. Probably the best through ball to Koulibaly. Not the right idea. Oh, they could be in behind though. Trossard looking to get in behind. He's got the better of Edwards. And that's a superb finish from Trossard. Again, a player that should not be playing at this level. And he's proven it already today with some of his finishing. But Edwards tried his best, but just unfortunately the way the bounce of the ball. It's one of those through balls that's so hard to defend. And Trossard has just about out-muscled him and got the better of him. Ball out wide, Bender. A space in hit. Garner finds Estrada into the area. Oh, Estrada. Oh, Koulibaly. Oh, Koulibaly. Oh, how has it not found its way in? Tanguy Koulibaly denied his first goal. Well, it would have been on his debut, but Estrada with the opportunity as well on as a sub. My word, Brighton hanging on by the skin of their teeth. Got their keeper to thank for that one. I thought Estupinian might be heading for the corner. Oh, that's actually a really well worked opportunity that has gone just wide. The fans in disbelief. They knew that if that had gone in, that would have killed this game. And there goes the full-time whistle. Brighton just threw everything at that defensively. There was no way through. What a game that is. But I'm disappointed we've lost that, but some of the goals that we've conceded in that game are just baffling, especially the Trossard goal, the third goal, the Trossard goal. Just all round, I have no idea what's happened there, but unfortunately that's the way it goes sometimes. But a really good game, and as you can see, completely even, so I think a point would have been fair, but just unfortunately Brighton got that Premier League quality and it shone through in that game, so one to take on the chin. But you know, Norwich to come. We've already beaten one of the top teams in the division so far in this episode, so hopefully we can do the same to end the episode. So for the final game of the episode at a wet, dreary Carrow Road, this is how Norwich line up. Angus Gunn in goal for them. Byram, Hanley, Omar Bamadeli and Giannoulis at the back. Matthias then. Marcelino Nunez in the base of the midfield. Sinani on the right. Sarah McLean in the middle. Rashika out on the left. And Davy Selka up front for them. Josh Sargent there on the bench as well. Some good options for them. And we have gone with our usual lineup. We've already played Norwich once this season. We actually play them in the next episode again in the league. But we've already played them in the Carabao Cup this season. We played our second string side. And that's pass has come back to haunt me really, hasn't it? Oh, I thought that was nestling in the bottom corner, but he's just put that wide. Yeah, and we played our second string, and I think we were fairly comfortably beaten. Something like 3-1 scoreline, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, we've not shown them what we can really do so far in this season. Oh, as Brady was looking to get on the end of that. But it looks like a bit of space for us to operate in. Obviously, 4 at the back is always preferred going up against, but they're playing certainly not too much in terms of. That's an absolutely superb ball. Bakari has got a long way to go. We'll try and get this one across if we can, but the defender there to pick up the pieces. Nezovic. Oh, try and stamp that one in if you can. Elias. Oh, Nezovic tries to get the turn in, but not quite working for him. Yeah, they're playing quite a negative formation. They're getting numbers forward, but then that will leave gaps in behind because their starting positions are so deep. But for a team that's in behind here, that was rather fortunate. That's a foul. It's a good block. Bentley. Oh, so that's unlucky. That's really unlucky. But Norwich take the lead. And they've got the goal music as well. That's pretty cool. But a couple of good blocks in there from Smith. But yeah, just I thought he was going to get on the third one. Not too sure with the jump with the hands behind his back is. But yeah, I mean, good pass from Norwich to be fair to open that up. But oh, just unfortunate really with a couple of good blocks in there. But as much as there's me writing them off, they go and take the lead against us. Kind of like Brighton. Very similar sort of feeling, and they're in again here. Oh, and he's got by his man. And we've just about got that away. Tommy Smith again with some good defensive work. Right, let's go on a counter-attack of our own if we can. Garnett has got Elias, and he's got plenty of space. And Elias could be in behind here. Elias, that is a finish. He has got the confidence after scoring his first goal in the last game against Brighton. That is a very accomplished finish from the young man. A couple of players applying pressure, but he's found the bottom. Well, it's not the side netting, it's the middle of the goal. He's angled that and lofted that absolutely perfectly to keep it away from Angus Gunn. Maybe we might see Elias score a few more goals this season if his confidence is going to be that high when it comes to finding his shooting boots. We weren't behind for long, and we didn't deserve to be. The way we started this game was much better than our host, but Smith has been done here. Come on, man. I'm enjoying the goal music, to be fair. Davy Selke, he caused us the problems in the Carabao Cup game, but Smith just been absolutely turned, and Knight, how he's allowed Selke to get in there is pretty poor. The finish from the angle, very accomplished from the German, but from our point of view, not ideal, as Elias has just made that defender look very silly. Ball in there to Bakari, ball in there to Garner, and we weren't behind again for long, were we? That was a very good piece of play, and Joseph Garner, old reliable on the score sheet, very good play again from Elias, but they made good decisions in there. That's what was the important thing. Twisted and turned, could have ran the line with Elias. Bakari was there in space. Then there was space to run into with Bakari, but Garner had made a really good run. Centre of the box, find him unmarked. You know how good his finishing is, and he duly obliged with another good finish. 23 goals in 23 games. His record has dried up as of late. Of course, he was hitting, I think he hit 15 goals in about 9 games, so he's only scored 8 in the last 14, which is obviously not a bad record at all, but given where he started, it's a little bit dry for his standards. Bakari, Brady, and there's a run-in hit for Garner, and he's got Hanley to keep him company. Bender, Nezovic, Burrows. Oh, I tried to feed it back into Nezovic. I tried to tackle and he's ended up having the shot. Knight needs to meet that. He doesn't really get enough on it. Oh, Burrows has gambled. Thankfully, Sinani checks back. And maybe one last opportunity for Norwich before the half-time whistle goes. But not for a challenge from Josh Knight. And that will be half-time. And again, kind of like the last game, a very good half. But yeah, kind of like in the last game, there's very entertaining first half. Not so much we could have done about a couple of their goals, but yeah, it's just one of those things. But hopefully, I fancy us to go on and get a positive result, if not a win from this game. And Bakari is in. Oh, and he's just missed. The angle was against him, to be fair. He's done well to sort of wrap his foot around it and get a bit of curl on it. But it's just the wrong side of the post as far as we are concerned. And we have started the past few games, the second half, very positively. So we're looking to do the exact same, and Knight has done really well to step in there. And Garner has found Bakari, and we will strike across goal, and it's a good save from Angus Gunn. Had to get that shot away early as the defender was applying the pressure. Again, we can try and launch a counter. Oh, that was poor. I did play that first time with Bakari because Elias had made a really good run out left, but that wasn't the execution that I certainly wanted. And Bender has not really done too much there. Selke, Knight. Oh, it's a good save. Knight with a very good block initially, but it's fallen to them. Oh, Bakari's taking that down onto chest superbly. A lovely ball. Giannoulis is in down this left-hand side, and they're causing us problems. And Davy Selke. Oh, you can't leave Davy Selke that sort of room because he will apply a finish like that. Oh, we made the change. We took off Elias and brought on Koulibaly, but it just hasn't really clicked going forward since that change, to be honest. But that's an absolutely superb finish from Selke. Take nothing away. We've got a few minutes to try and get something back, but not looking likely at the moment. There goes the final whistle. And another one of those games where I feel like we've should have at least come away with a point, if not a win, and we've come away with a defeat. I mean, they've had the better of the game, so maybe I shouldn't feel hard done by, but I have there. I feel like the nature of the game and how it played out, there was definitely room to get something, but Elias was knackered, but after I took him off, we just weren't clicking up front, so maybe that's a lesson learned for next time. But we've got to flesh in these new players somehow, and I feel like Koulibaly can offer us something, but on that occasion I made the wrong decision. So a win to start the episode, and yeah, we see a 3-2 win to start the episode, but a 4-3 defeat and a 3-2 defeat to end the episode. So some really close games, but yeah, unfortunately, just not quite on the right side of some of them. But, you know, we played 3 really tough sides today, so I'm not going to be too disheartened, but know that we played well against these teams, and there was opportunity there that we could have won. But if we have a look at what is to come in the next episode, then we'll start with a game at home to Millwall before a trip to London to take on QPR, and then on Christmas Eve, well, we have a chance to get revenge. Norwich at home on Christmas Eve before Christmas, so maybe that'll be a nice present. We can beat the Canaries. If we have a look at the table, we remain in 8th, but the gap to the playoffs is growing. 6 points it is now to Preston, who have overtaken Stoke, who seem to have dropped off a little bit. But yeah, Leeds and Norwich, well, I didn't realise Norwich was second, but could be that competitive and feel like we should have got something out of the game against second place. You must be doing something right. But yeah, it seems like the top 3 have broken away a little bit, but a lot can change. You know, it feels like it's sort of separated. Watford and Sheffield United have very much become more catchable, but yeah, we just have to keep going. Halfway through the season now, so you know, 34. If we finish on 68 points, I would deem that a massive success. But let's have a quick look at the squad then, just a mid-season review. Haven't really done one of these for a while. So we'll just see. Bentley up 1 to 75, been really, really good for us this season so far. Bergstrom up 2 to 68, will be joining Werder Bremen on loan in January on a 2-year loan deal. Riznik up 1 to 72, joining Fenerbahce on a permanent deal in January. McNeil is someone we've just brought in who is available for loan. Butland, just someone we've brought in. Harrison Burrows up 2 to 73. Really, really good was his progression. I said the same about Edwards, about sort of being a bit exposed this season. Burrows, I feel a little bit the same, but they're both so young, so got plenty of room to grow. Lots to learn still, so I'm fine with how they're going for now. Ahmed up 171. Haven't really used him this season, to be honest. Ernesto Oliveira, someone we've not long brought in, so yeah, won't see too much of him at the moment. Hassan, no growth from him. Haven't really used him again this season. He's listed for loan. Viola down 2 to 65. He's just retiring. David, no growth from him on loan at Feyenoord, which is a little bit concerning, but hopefully he can grow in the second half of the season. Thompson down 1 to 69. Anderson up 1 to 72. He's been fighting with Knight for that other centre-half spot, and yeah, both just playing really, really well. Ronnie Edwards up 2 to 74 is yeah, certainly still our best defender, but like I said with Burrows, just left a little bit exposed this season, but will certainly grow into a phenomenal centre-back, I have no doubt. Josh Knight up 2 to 73 this season, has been very good when he played, whether it's him that partners Edwards or Anderson. Very happy with their contributions. Colin, no growth from him at 71, don't expect that too much at 32, but it's just there to be a backup. Has played a little bit this season. Tommy Smith at 172. Really enjoyed Tommy Smith so far this season, actually. He's been much big improvement, I think, on Thompson. And yeah, he's one of the players I've really enjoyed most this season. Joe Ward joining Watford when the January window comes around on a permanent. Nezovic, someone we've brought in not too long ago, already grown up 1 to 73, is slowly establishing himself in the middle of midfield with Brady. I do have a concern about playing 2 left-footers in the middle of midfield, but for now I feel like it's working. Brady is still offering a lot to the side. Nezovic slowly growing into it. But yeah, starting to enjoy him the more I play with him. Thorpe is up 5 on his loan spell at PS Gilvik, Poland somewhere. But yeah, good growth from him. Marco Tilio up 1 on his loan spell at Rayo Vallecano. Taylor up 1 to 72. Someone I want to sign a new contract, but he ignored it. He rejected it last time. So yeah, very much still part of the plans. But yeah, he's just good squad depth really. Fuchs has dropped out of the side in recent weeks, mainly because of Nezovic coming in, but certainly still a favourite. And yeah, certainly not going to be going anywhere. Played a fair bit this season already. Drew Yearwood up 1 to 70 on his loan spell at Leeds. Robbie Brady up 2 to 73. I think that was purely just because of a position change, but yeah, I'm enjoying Robbie Brady. He's sort of the creative element in midfield that we, obviously from deeper, let's say, but gets forward, scored a great goal against Brighton, and certainly, a very good Championship player. Saville going to Bilbao on loan in January. Interesting move for him. Trisha Torre going on loan to Trabzonspor in January. Iñaki Oliveira, someone we bought in fairly recently, has played a little bit, but not too much. Obviously, it's going to be hard to displace Garner from that number 10 role. But when he's played and when he's come on, he's looked lively. So looking forward to seeing what we can get from him. Elliot Lee has gone up 2 to 61 this season. Is still looking for a loan for him. The youngster, only 16. Daniel Johnson, 71, has contributed a fair bit. Started the season with a place in the team, but because of additions that we've made, has lost his space. Finds himself out on loan, but went for a spell recently. He was scoring a few goals in a few games, but yeah, we're going to look to loan him out because of the options that we have. Koulibaly just come in, made a couple of appearances so far. Still trying to work out how to use him and getting a feel for him, but he could hopefully offer us something quite nice. Actually, I want to just check what's his. He's very quick. Okay, that's cool. Estrada, someone we've just bought in very recently, has made a couple of appearances, but not enough to get to really know how to use him yet. Lucas Saunders up 4 to 61 on his loan at Aranyaspor. Got that right, I'm guessing out in Turkey. Ajiboye at 1 to 70 this season has really not featured at all, to be honest. Finds himself up for loan. Randall is up 169 this season, joining Dusseldorf on a permanent when the transfer window opens. Ali Assad up 1 to 71 this season, finds himself on the loan list. Oliver Curtis up 5 to 62, the 17-year-old, which is good to see on loan at Giresunspor. Hopefully I got that right. Elias up 2 to 74. Really starting to enjoy Elias now. And I find with Elias as well, his defensive work rate is really good as well as his attacking work rate. But yeah, I've always kind of enjoyed Elias, but now I'm really starting to get to grips with him. Bukhari, no growth from him, 73. He's been a bit of a square peg in a round hole, but I feel like he is playing well up front for us this season. But yeah, he's one of those players that I want to fit in the side, so it's kind of finding a place for him. Maybe it's not comfortable, but yeah, I feel like he's doing all right. Cristobal Guerra up 9 to 69 on his loan at Cordoba, which is fantastic. David Bender's up 1 to 72. I don't know how I feel about Bender, because I want him to do well, because he's young, because he's got plenty of potential, but I just haven't seen a lot from him in games. He had that opportunity, I think, against Brighton where he should have scored. But I'm willing to give him a chance because he's young, but we have got Estrada now, we've got Oliveira, we've got Koulibaly, so he needs to start putting in performances if he is to continue to justify his starting spot. But I'm willing to be patient. Lucas Cole up 2 to 57 in his loan spell at Quevilly-Rouen in France. Marriott is joining Maritimo on a permanent when the transfer window opens in January. Jamal Lowe started the season in the side, out on the left-hand side, and wasn't great, but was still effective. Then he had a spell up front where he couldn't stop scoring goals, but more recently has found himself out of the side just because, like I said, he was being utilised out wide, and now we've got other wingers. Ricky J. Jones is joining Braga on loan when the window opens. He's up 1 to 68. Really want to see some growth from him at Braga. Otherwise, I feel like I might sell Ricky in the summer if he doesn't grow that much. Fisher up 2 to 56 this season. 17 years old. He's joining Bristol Rovers on loan in January. And Garner up 3 to 84. He's just an absolute beast. He's still only on $2,000 a year. 71 million. I feel like when he gets a new contract, we're going to have to throw everything at him. Still got, well, his deal expires at the end of next season, but yeah, we'll certainly see how that. I can't believe he's on $2,000 a week, still on his academy wage, evidently. But what I was going to try and find is his stats: 23 goals, 12 assists, so 35 goal contributions in 23 games so far this season. The man is a freak. Shouldn't be playing with us, but we are fortunate to have him. And that just about rounds up everything for this episode. So guys, if you have enjoyed it, a bit of a longer one, I appreciate if you have pop a like on there for me, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.